the Masquerade Chronicles set in the city of Oxford. Awakening for the night in the city is Landre of the clan Tremere, played by Kendu. Please do a rouse check to awaken from your torpor slumber. You're getting hungry tonight. Violet of the Nosferatu, played by Dark Scarlet from Check These Out. Please do a rouse check to awaken from your torpor. Wonderful. And Patricia Wright of the Clan of Kings, portrayed by Astrid from the family. Please do a rouse check to awaken from your torpor slumber. You're getting hungry tonight. We start this week in the sewers of Oxford. Violet has arranged a clandestine meeting in the sewers with one of the Nosferatu. Violet and her newly ghouled fox, Mr. Scruffles, quietly approach the meeting area and find the younger Nosferatu already waiting, sitting on the corner and splashing his feet in the soiled water, kicking it like a child on a riverbank. The kindred is easily distinguished as one of the more recently embraced of the Clan of the Hidden, as he is recognisably human but still looks deathly ill, rather than deformed like his older cousins. He looks up at Violet with pale blue eyes and gives her a toothy smile. Ah! Are you the one that requested the meeting? What amazing features you have. I wish I was so distinguished.
Oh, thank you.
What did you need this meeting for, cousin?
Oh, I'd like to make you an offer.
What offer is this?
Seeming as you're so young, I would like to offer you some protection and maybe some work.
Do go on. I'd love some more responsibility.
You know, in the area, my coterie and I are aiming to become more prominent. And I need an assistant.
And you'll protect me in exchange?
Mr. Scruffles.
The fox?
Right. Isn't he beautiful?
Yes.
Good answer. Now.
I've seen what you do with that cricket bat.
Oh. It's my weapon. I won't hurt you. All you have to do is open your mouth.
Fuck's sake.
This.
It didn't work for my gym teacher. It's not going to work for you.
Taste, I promise.
Dude, oh God Almighty. Do charisma and persuasion for me, please.
Always takes me.
It's not take long this week to descend. You can't get rid of your messy critical. I am wisely, as this is being broadcast on the internet, not going to do the pose of opening my mouth and sticking my tongue out. However,
but does he do it?
The Nosferatu does do it.
Then
and you,
Violet, were like,
do a rouse check for me, please. Wonderful. And your open wound will bleed onto his tongue. And at the sight of your own blood being swallowed by him, I really wish you hadn't opened your mouth and stuck your tongue out, because now everything is just an innuendo in my mind. The beast inside of you screams up at the sight of blood. Your fangs extend, and you sink them straight into his own flesh, satiating your hunger at the cost of his. You may... What is your current hunger? 2?
2.
Okay, you may slake 1 hunger, and increasing his by 2. Why? What? Ow! Ow!
Oh. Sorry. I pat his head.
I thought you said you were going to protect me, not feed on me.
Oh. It's part of the deal. You're mine now.
I wish
What's your
you'd...
name?
Cough Sky?
What was that?
Cough Sky.
Don't worry. I'll be good. And I'll protect you. Okay?
No more surprises like that. Please.
Oh, I'm sorry. You just look so delicious. Pats his head again.
Okay.
That's a good boy.
Anything else you want to...
No,
I can't. I'm just anything else?
I start asking him how he is and finding more things about him. Don't have to RP it, just find out where he's from and how long he's been a kindred and what he wants in his afterlife, etc. Get to know him.
Likes long walks in the sewers, smell of fresh turds in the morning, usual Nosferatu stuff.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I do make sure though that when we retire to the cuddle pile in the daytime, that he has to sleep near me. Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's blood bonded to you, so that won't be an issue.
Has to.
And he's seen you open your mouth and stick your tongue out, so again, no issue. Across the city, very swiftly moving on, Lontre has been summoned to meet with Mark Nelson. Lontre has received details of a location, a burned-out hulk of a pub, cordoned off from the public. Lontre is careful to not be followed and enters into the remains, finding Mark Nelson sat in the remains of a booth against a burned-out wall. The blackened ash clashes with Mark's new suit and silk dark green shirt. He stands when he sees Lontre and gestures into the burned-out seat opposite him in the booth. Good evening, Brother Lontre. I am pleased that you are still in the city.
Good evening, Primogen. You're looking better than when we last spoke.
I have come back to the city at an interesting time, it seems. The Banu have been given domain within the city, and the Tremere no longer have a seat on the Primogen. However, now the Tremere have returned to the city in the form of you and I.
Lantry's just going to look about the burned-out hovel and raise an eyebrow. Indeed. Seems we were quickly replaced.
I intend to bring the Tremere to their former glory. Clearly the old guard was inadequate, and it is time for a change, with me at the helm, and I wish to extend an offer to you to stand at my side as we work together to restore the Tremere in this city, with new members. It will require a lot of hard work and beseeching the Prince for permission to embrace new fledglings. It'll be nearly impossible, but not entirely impossible. Brother, will you take this opportunity, or sit by and forsake your clan?
You see, Primogen, I'm not interested in returning to our former glory. And that seems to be the issue. Because we disappeared so quickly. So easily were we replaced by the Banu guard dogs. Our former glory is not enough. Which is one reason I wish to speak with you tonight.
Pray tell what you have in mind.
You, I'm sure, are as displeased as I at our current predicament. Yes, we have been welcomed into the Camarilla, but kept as outcasts. Our talents have been used and then cast aside. We've been... how do I put it? Used. And then when we were finished, cast aside for the Banu, which are, I admit, wonderful guard dogs, but far less dangerous than the Tremere. So I have a proposal for you. I spoke with our good, hopefully, to be friend. You remember, do you not, Isaac, our wonderful departed friend, the last time we spoke?
Yes, he was a companion of a coterie that I had some interaction with.
Yeah, so you are aware of his clan.
When he was one of us, yes.
Very good. I spoke with the leader of his clan, and she's not opposed to the idea of exploring options. You see, our magic is not so different, two sides of the same coin. We dabble in life, and they dabble in death. Yes?
Go on.
If you were interested in pursuing such an avenue, you have only to approach her and call upon a favor. I think it might be beneficial to the both of our clans to exchange some knowledge of our different schools of magic, and perhaps gain something from it.
I shall make inquiries, although the art of necromancy is somewhat taboo. The Hecata tend to keep their secrets closely guarded to their chest, as we do with our own rituals.
Oh, and it would be most foolish to trust anyone, but I have confidence in your ability to give unimportant secrets and maybe gain something in return.
I shall extend a hand of friendship and see what results from the offer. I take it then that you are willing to stand by my side as we regain strength in the city.
Let me ask you a question first, just to test your abilities. What do you know of my presence in the city? You've had time now. Why am I here?
As I understand it, you are currently a praetor, being assessed for the position of an Archon.
Lantre will stand with one of his wonderful smiles and extend a hand. I believe we have a deal.
Excellent. And he will stand and take your own hand and begin shaking it. There is much work to do. I shall be in contact when I need you. Until then, keep this between us. And remember that your brothers and sisters must always come first.
Lantre will not release his hand, but he will whisper more quietly. What is the difference between the Camarilla and the Archons?
The Archons are a part of the Camarilla. They are enforcers for extreme situations.
Indeed, and the difference between the Camarilla and those who are not part of the Camarilla.
The Camarilla survives. Those who are not part of the Camarilla do not.
Forgive me. What I mean to say is, power is held in the hands of a few, yes?
Yes.
Regardless of the faction you belong to, yes?
Usually.
Sometimes it behooves us to look toward the future and what position and role we might play in it, whether we be followers or not.
And what are you getting at? Don't beat around the bush, say it, sir.
I admire the Camarilla. I do. You see, the position of Archon is a wonderful leash, is it not? For I have no power, and no free will of my own, and yet I'm given the illusion of power, am I not?
You are given more free rein than most. Not even all the
Given
traditions apply to you as an Archon.
Given free rein by whom?
By those in the tower, of course, the inner circle itself.
I wonder what it would be like to be the one granting the power, rather than the ones receiving the power.
Tread carefully, brother, for these are very forbidden words. The inner circle has become even more closed since the unfortunate incident with Theo Bell and Hardstead.
Dear Primogen, you're not thinking broadly enough. Why must power come from the circle?
Because they are far more powerful and older than either of us combined.
Then how do you gain power?
By being older and more powerful than both of us combined.
They were not always old and powerful, were they? How did they get to where they are now?
Time.
Time and careful planning, yes?
They are more experienced maneuvers in the jihad than we.
Lantre will shake his hand once more. Time, dear Primogen.
Time is something we have in abundance. Power,
Indeed.
however, is not. Not yet, anyway.
Not yet. I'll be interested to see what you are able to scrounge up from the Hekata. Well, they're only the beginning.
You have done good work already. There is much more to do, however, and I shall be in contact soon.
Long live our clan, brother.
Just
And
not.
Lantre will turn, go.
And across the city once more. Patricia received a strange message via Courier Crow, summoning her to meet with the Primogen of Ventru. A Vuba drops her off on Pondstead Road, outside a detached Victorian home. She exits the car and walks up the front path, knocking on the door, and is greeted by a very smartly dressed servant. Ah! You must be the expected appointment tonight.
Stares at them expectantly.
Come. Please, enter forth. The master wishes to communicate with you post-haste. Straight down the corridor, and the first door on the right.
Appreciated. And she will follow where indicated.
He just stands there, bowing slightly as you walk forth into an extremely lavish office/library. A smartly dressed man stands up as you enter. Good evening, kindred. I am Tarn, 10th generation child of Sanford, child of Cyril Masters, child of Valerius, child of Bindasara, primogen of the Venture of Oxford City. An honor to meet you, and I would like to be the first to welcome you officially as an Archon.
In that case, I take it I don't have to go through the bothers. I don't gotta put on show that you did, essentially, that you just told me. Good, great, wonderful. Yes, I would be more than happy to accept and aid you and any of our clan and the tower in any way they might need.
Wonderful. Of course, I am not the one officially conducting the ceremony to induct you. I thought I could take the privilege of being the first to welcome you officially, though. It would only be proper.
I expect nothing less.
I take it, of course, from your enthusiasm you will be accepting the position.
Were you not listening? I'm sorry, too many cigarettes in life. Yes, I will be.
Wonderful. There is other more interesting news I have for you also. The Prince will be forbidding travel out of the city tonight. As I understand it, this is a directive from the tower itself, as part of a series of protocols to help contain the Gaki and the Anarchs. Speaking of the Anarchs, it seems they are becoming more active and noisy lately. A mixed blessing. The noisier they are, the more attention they draw on themselves. This, however, will also mean that we have to be even more subtle ourselves.
Oh, something that I've always prided myself in. Of course, there are ways to be a little bit more like them without being like them. I'm keeping it snug as a bug.
You will, of course, have to adapt to these new conditions. As the order has come from the tower itself, this will also mean you have to stay here, Archon or not. Though you will still enjoy more free reign than most of our kind in the city, you will be expected to perform your duties as an Archon and preserving the Masquerade. This will mean, in practice, the Constable will directly request things of you some nights.
I see no problem with this. I had no intention of settling elsewhere.
For now, though, you may wish to meet with the rest of the coterie who have all been summoned to meet with the Constable, so you may be officially offered your position as Archon.
Well, I do appreciate, tradition and doing what you did to tell me what you did. It will not be forgotten.
Excellent.
Do have yourself a wonderful night.
And yourself. Please, feel free to drop by any time.
I will warn you. If there is time, of course. And with that smirk, you'll take relief.
Wonderful. Which brings us... The coterie have met together outside one of Oxford's police stations. The street lights coming from the nearby Christchurch buildings light up the area well enough for them to see their way down into the underground car park. They weave their way through the parked police cars and enter into the iron door attached to the concrete wall. The constable drops his pen onto the paper as Coven of Kindred enter his office. He stands and gestures to several seats in front of him, one of which is already occupied by an unknown woman with auburn hair. Good evening, Kindred. Thank you for coming tonight. I shan't waste your time, but before we proceed, allow me to first of all introduce Lucinda Somerville from the Clan of the Shadow. She is to be joining your coterie. A watcher of watchers, so to speak. She has a talent for mathematics, language, and from what I understand, an interesting history from various parts of Europe, and will prove to be extremely useful to you, and you to her. Now, to further business. Your work tracking down the Elysium bomber was invaluable. Xavier Long has been placed on the Red List as a direct result of your investigations. Your personal reports were forwarded on to the respective Justicars, as well as my own report. The Prince has also given you each a good word, and Violet, the Toreador Primogen Akami, gave particularly glowing recommendation about you. I am honoured to extend to you all now the invitation to join the rank of Archons. Violet, you have been invited to E Division. Your field work will primarily consist of investigating and combating the paranormal. There are more mysteries in this world than the Camarilla, and you shall be one among other ancillae that are on the front lines. You will rarely be given an opportunity to make repeat mistakes. It is highly suggested you do not specialize in one particular skill, but rather spread yourself around so that you are able to respond instantly to unexpected and unexplained phenomena. Apparently there was some competition for you, as the dog catchers were also highly interested in acquiring your skills for themselves, given how quickly you were able to dispatch a lupine. But as I understand it, E-Division made the canine unit withdraw their request. Patricia,
Just giggles.
the Elasters have a position for you. Your approach to apprehending Xavier Long by any means, but also ensuring you wouldn't breach the Masquerade, was a little rough around the edges. But they can say you have great potential. You will answer personally to the Inner Circle, not just the Justicars. Your primary duty is to hunt those on the Red List, the Anathema, despite rumours to the contrary. Traditionally, it was the mark of you shall receive the mark of the beast later tonight. Traditionally, it was Tremere that would give you the trophy, but tonight you shall visit the Banu Hakim Primogen Kulal, who will personally give you yours upon your right palm. The Elasters are something of an open secret. Younger kindred may not recognize your mark upon your palm, but you will have direct access to the Inner Circle to enlighten such folly youths. The Elasters have only recently had this spot open. You are very fortunate indeed. Finally, Lontre. The Quesitors have invited you to join their ranks. Mysteries of the occult, particularly Rogue Tremere, Banu Hakim, Church of Set Witches, and even mortal sorcerers will be your quest. Nights gone, the division was exclusively made of usurpers, but since then the Banu Hakim have also been joining. You will act as a roving judge, mediator, and tactician in all things magical. Kulal has requested you in particular be present for Patricia's marking tonight. Which brings me nicely to tell you, in addition to reporting to Kulal, it would be proper to announce yourselves as newly recruited Archons to the Harpy She awaits you in Elysium.
Laundry will stand and give a bow. Simply say thank you for your time and for your assistance. It will not be forgotten.
Lucinda. You are muted.
Aye.
Keep a close eye on them. They may not be completely bound by the traditions, but you are tied to them and they to you. Go forth into the night. Everyone fucking off.
Yup.
Violet gets up and curtsies. Thank you.
Yeah,
And then
so
buggers off.
yeah, she's probably in a standard pantsuit for a woman of this decade this time around. You know, do her little adjustments. I will do my best to uphold and honor this position. I guarantee you. I will do our clan proud.
The coterie head out of the office and weave their way through the police cars, out into the waiting car. Anything you wish to discuss en route, and where are you going?
Melantra will turn and give a bow to Lucy. Greetings and welcome. How shall we address you?
You can call me Lucy or Dina. Depends on what you want to say or how you want to call me. I answer to either.
I like Lucy. Hello, Lucy.
Hello. How are you doing?
I'm Violet. It's a pleasure to meet you.
It's a pleasure to meet you all. I was kind of brought down here, so could you tell me a wee bit about yourselves? Not as much as you wish to say, but you know.
I'm American. Come by way of southern Arizona. I will admit that my sire was its previous prince, the gentleman Boss Ross.
I spent a wee bit of time in America. It was bustling and growing from what I remember.
Yeah, Arizona's quite strange, especially where I was in my time, 80s. You go where it was now, downtown. I mean, it's still small. You compare it to somewhere like Dayton, Ohio, downtown, and oh, it's not what it was. Not even 10 years ago.
I was more in the 80s. I was going over to LA. More in the Silicon Valley. Computers.
Can't really do too much of that now, can you? I'm
Of
so
course
sorry.
I can. No, still can. The only thing is touch screens. As long as it is hardwired, connected, I'm able to do it. As I say, I had some grand teachers when I was younger.
Oh, you and Violet are going to get along just swimmingly.
Tend to hang around in the shadows of the internet. I was about there when ShrekNet was about. Pity that.
Me too. I can't use phones though. The finger. I try. It never works.
Do you use... I use a BlackBerry. An old retro BlackBerry. Don't have to worry about the touchscreens.
Hmm. Maybe I need a BlackBerry.
That or an old style flip phone is normally the best way to go, at least for getting around the technology. It's easier. It's not as easy to hack. No Bluetooth.
Hmm. I shall take notes of that later.
That's fair.
I do
What?
carry pagers still.
I'm sorry?
I do still carry a pager. Do you need a pager? Because I actually still have a connection to one that makes them, and they're actually still pretty on par.
Name a color. I have a pager in every one of them.
Wonderful.
I have a couple of Raspberry Pis on me right now, and I have a couple of laptops. Let's just say I worked with the animated machines when they were being invented. Yes? You know what I mean?
Shadows. Correct?
Huh?
Clan of the Shadows, yes?
Hey?
I do enjoy the Clan of the Shadows.
We're very much trying to integrate ourselves back into clans. From what I've understood, I've always been one. I'm a descendant of Montano.
Ooh. Did you hear that, Lantry? She nudges him.
Indeed, it is a pleasure to have you.
And you are, sir?
You may call me Lantry. Everyone hates me, so I'm obviously Tremere. That basically says everything about me.
So being overly studious wise and getting as much knowledge as you can is pretty much your game.
Oh, Lantry's going to reach out for her hand and give a bow that he might kiss her hand. Welcome, indeed.
Chill out. Let's just say my tutors made sure I was well versed in a lot of things.
I look forward to getting to know you.
Likewise.
And then Lantry will give a nod to Patricia. Congratulations on your new appointment.
Do you
Is
it as
rather
well?
advantageous.
Yes, I wasn't expecting quite that much. But, you know, you get what you're given from whatever the fuck it is that's out there.
Aye.
I can't say I'm all that surprised. You are remarkably loyal to the Camarilla. I think you deserved it.
Not to my own order or anything, but I was created and brought into this existence for just that.
Wonderful indeed. And then he's going to pat Pixie on the head. Congratulations.
Thank you. You
Her
too.
eyes cross and she just looks up, and just for a moment, it's just like stuck there, and she just has to compose herself for a moment. Yes. Well, I am sure that you and Violet will do well as in your positions as well. And I look forward to getting to know you, Miss Lucy.
And Lantry is going to smile at Miss Lucy with one of his utterly horrifying and terrifying smiles.
Y'all politely smile back.
He's going to try even harder to make a nice smile.
She's being rather accommodating and rather just being as pleasant as punch.
I'm not sure which one of you I trust less.
But like in toast?
Bless you.
Why not toast?
Oh. Where are you going?
Seems we must go and see the harpy.
Harpy visit.
You sure you want to go to the Harpy
Delete.
first, not the Banu Primogen?
Harpy.
Freaking Banu's fine. We can go see the Banu.
Oh, you guys just want to see me birth in pain.
I'm sure you will come through with flying colors on it.
You speak well, Miss Lucy.
And you try.
Fine. To the Bano then.
The coterie drive to the Banu Hakim Haven, leaving their car and approach the building and enter into the modest reception. A man of Middle Eastern descent greets them with a smile behind a glass sheet. And again, I am not doing a Middle Eastern accent, in the interest of good taste. Good evening. You are expected. Please sign in and proceed into the corridor on the right. The man reaches under the desk and produces an extremely old-looking book, with a cracked leather front and back cover as it slams onto the desk. He cracks it open, and the man waits for the coterie to sign as he passes them each a pen.
Landry will just step forward and sign without hesitation.
Trisha will go and she will use her new title.
Lucy will take out her unfountain pen and write her name.
Violet will use her title and put a really big smiley face.
Man smiles and closes the book. Thank you. Please proceed down the corridor. The door is unlocked, and he awaits you inside.
Patricia will take the lead since they're basically here for her. Or, whatever.
The coterie proceed across the carpeted room, through the plain, painted-walled corridor, following the corridor along and passing by each door until they reach the end, proceeding through the wooden door into a barely lit large room. Candles are dotted around the room, and as the coterie walk in, they can see the visage of a large, cloaked man, standing. His head looks down, and the coterie's shadows dance over his form. They close in on him as he greets them, slowly raising his hooded head. Again, no Middle Eastern accent in the ideas of good taste. Good evening, kindred. Thank you for coming. I have been informed you are all being invited to join the rank of the Archons. A member of the Banu Hakim. As member of the Banu Hakim and primogen of the city, it pleases me greatly that justice has not been forgotten by our undead society. The rule of law is absolute. By its very definition, it is just, and there are no better to administer its tendings than the undead. I take it from your presence here tonight that you have all accepted the invitation. Lantre, you nodding, we don't know.
Yeah, no, Landry is not responding, and he's giving only a very slight nod.
Excellent. Dispensing justice is a finite task. At some point in the ocean of time, all those that need judgment passed on them shall be judged. If the guilty run out, then they must eventually judge each other. If we are truly to be around forever, then when that time comes, it will be the time for you all to judge yourselves and dispense justice fitting your own transgressions. Then you will have earned your just rest. This is, of course, should you survive the unlife that long. Few Archons do. You either die with honor in the line of duty, or leave the position by other means. Make sure it is not disgrace. Let us begin. Patricia, you are to be inducted to the Alasters. Are you prepared for this honor?
I was born for it.
Give me your right hand. Kulal takes your hand in his palm, places it up, and pulls a knife from his belt. He holds Patricia's hand firmly and impales the knife into her flesh and begins to carve the coterie. As he begins to carve, I'm terrible at grammar. The coterie remain silent, as all they can hear is the sound of Patricia's flesh being torn and blood dripping to the floor. Kalal scores out the shape of a half-crescent moon into Patricia's palm and pulls his knife back. He looks to Lantre. Sorcerer, take my knife, open your palm, and place your bleeding hand in Patricia's.
Lantre will step forward slowly and without breaking eye contact for even a second, cut his palm and then place it upon Patricia's.
Lantre, rouse check for me, please. Patricia, you will be taking 1 aggravated damage. This ritual is seldom seen. The mark shall never fully heal. It is a scar you will bear for your entire existence. It sets you apart. There are few old enough to remember its meaning, but you are now the Inner Council's clenched fist and will. You have a direct line access to them, and put those foolish enough to oppose you in their place. Do not abuse this, though. The Inner Council do not tolerate showboating. And he will hand you a pair of black leather gloves. It is wise not to flaunt your mark. Now, Lantre. Sorry?
Oh, no, just looking at it. Just, like, letting it sink in. Like, she takes the gloves without even, like, looking at them, and she just nods. No, of course. Of course.
Lantre, you are to be a Quesitor. Since its founding, it was entirely dominated by the Tremere. These modern nights, times have changed, and slowly, the Banu Hakim are filling these places. The pyramid has collapsed, a secret not known to many outside of your clan. This means you are not bound to anyone. Before you are inducted to the Quesitors, I require of you to take the Oath of Station. He hands you an ancient scroll. Scrawled upon it are the words Lantre must recite.
Hang on, let me zoom in real quick. Lantre will take the scroll, hold it before him, holding it up high enough that he can glance over the top into the Banu's eyes. And before he begins to read, in the wisdom of the Camarilla, the Tremere and the Banu seem fated to work together. Perhaps it would be best we do not. Let our clan differences disrupt our ability to serve the Camarilla.
I hold no enmity towards you.
Very well. I look forward to working with you. I, Lantre, do swear, the Camarilla is all, and all are Camarilla. In service and in faith to the Camarilla do I submerge the greatest part of me. Let none, enemy from without or beast from within, challenge my loyalty. Let none, enemy from without or beast from within, shatter my faith. I have no interests that are not the interests of the Camarilla. I have no goals that are not the goals of the Camarilla. I suffer no threat to the Camarilla, from within or from without, kindred or kind. Any who place their own cause above the Camarilla shall be struck down, and I beg of the Camarilla to strike me down should I advance my cause above its own. Though I am a child of the Tremere, and I represent the interests of the clan Tremere to the Camarilla, yet I place the good of the Camarilla above even the need of the Tremere. And I will look over the top of the scroll at the Primogen. For without one, the Camarilla survives. But without the Camarilla, none survive. The friend of the Camarilla is my friend. The ally of the Camarilla is my ally. The kindred of the Camarilla are my kindred unto the end of nights. The enemy of my kindred is my enemy. I am relentless in discovering him, implacable in hunting him, merciless in destroying him. Yet I welcome all who confess their malfeasance and seek to mend their ways, for they grant strength to me unto the Camarilla. If I shed blood, it is for the Camarilla. If I take life or unlife, it is for the Camarilla. If I die, it is for the Camarilla. Let the Camarilla raise up its mighty fist and strike me down should I violate this sacred trust. This I swear, by my blood, by my sire's blood, by my own life, and by the unlives of my child heir, for so long as the Camarilla honors me to serve.
Lantre, child of the Tremere, you are a member of the Quisitors from this moment onwards. The realm of forbidden magics are yours to oppose. You shall be charged with bringing all rogue sorcerers to answer for their heinous acts. Our business is concluded. Archons. Wrap up any other business you have, and proceed for the night.
Landry will give a bow. Thank you.
Lucy will curtsy.
Trisha has the gloves on, and they're new, so she gives them the feel, give the banner the nod, and take her leave as well.
Violet takes a minute to wake up from a trance, which she's just been listening to Lantry, like, and then curtsies and goes, quickly scurries after them.
Galal is motionless, leaving his crossed arms in front of him, as you all head out, leaving the Banu Hakim Haven, and head once more into the car, heading towards Elysium. Is there anything you wish to discuss on your drive?
Well, that's that. We've done it.
How do you feel now?
Hard to tell. But good. Personally.
Did it hurt? Do you need to feed?
I mean, a bit, but I'll be all right. I'm not. No, it didn't make me too hungry, but I'll be all right. I would appreciate if everyone here, like they said, don't go blabbing that you have the ear of the circle. It would go hand in hand that you all don't go blabbing that you know somebody who has the ear of the inner circle.
A Denikinia.
Hand in hand, I like your turn of phrase. You have my word.
Me too.
I wasn't here.
So, Miss Lucy, have you been to Oxford before?
I
So you know the Harpy?
wouldn't say I know them personally. I was alive back then.
Oh, indeed, okay. She's an interesting sort, but has been quite helpful to us, so
Is she Ruth?
Mhm.
Oh, delightful.
Indeed.
She's lovely.
I'm sure she looks lovely and is smelling like, you know, a fresh cut rose, as they all are. You do know, Violet, that I do have a wee bit of a thorn, don't you?
Being too cute to be picked up.
I didn't hear you. Which is
Sorry, that happens sometimes.
you're correct.
Cuteness level down, volume up.
Ah! What do you mean by a thorn?
Oh, you've heard the saying every rose has its thorn, eh?
Of course.
Always think of that with them. When you think that they're being a wee bit straight, there's always a little thorn coming around. 'Cause at some point, it's going to gently prick you.
Oh,
Just
like Toreador. Very much.
they are a very interesting clan. No offense, I prefer your own. You have a bit more distinguishedness to you.
Cute.
You're welcome. Between the three of you, your clans are very well known. So it's glad to be a part of this unique groupage. I can't say that I've normally worked with a whole bunch of y'all, but you know, it's nice to get acquainted with other clans.
Yes, and I must say it is bold you trying your hand at Oxford, considering the state of the tower with your clan. Actually get along better with La Sombra than I do Toreador. Just kind of the state of things in the southern Arizona for a few decades past.
We try not to mince our words and just speak directly. I mean, I can't do a whole bunch of poetry and phrases. It's not my kind. I prefer to be direct and to the point.
So much time.
I don't have time actually. Between coding and my computer work and then this, it's it's just, you know, you want to get things done and to the point. I think the only time I actually relax is when I play the piano.
Violet lights up at that.
You play?
I play. I've played since I was 16. It was a part of the regiment for being a part of the family.
I might hear you sometime.
I will play for you sometime, if you would like.
She's very happy and kicking her legs.
Well, thank you for taking time to be here with us. Amidst your busy schedule.
It was pressed upon me that you needed it. I don't mind making time when I have it, so I made the time.
Well, thank you. And there's a wonderful fellow. Hopefully he will be at Elysium tonight. You might I very much look forward to introducing you to him.
And pray tell, who is this?
You know, I've quite forgotten his name. I know him as Bilbo. The first time I spoke with him, he had The Hobbit and he was reading it, and it seemed to fit, and he loves the name, from what I can tell. So, he's from the Clan of Shadows as well. And he's just an absolutely wonderful fellow.
If he goes by Bilbo Baggins, I'm going to have to question.
Oh, Well, don't judge him too harshly, you know? I mean, I think he likes the name, but he definitely gets along well with us, so I'd be very interested to introduce you to him as well.
It'll be interesting to be introduced to him. I'm sure he'll like the delight of having another shadow about.
Oh, I'm sure. Can you do that really cool, like, shadow tentacle thing too?
Oh, you're asking me if I can do the arms of Arman.
Yes, yes.
Ah, I can, and nay, I don't do it for tentacle porn. I've been asked. I am not into hentai. Yes, I know what hentai is. I've seen it enough.
I don't
I'm
even
good.
that would even show up on camera.
You know, when somebody was trying to explain what I can do to a newer kindred, and this kindred happened to be very much into anime, let's just say a lot of examples were brought up into conversation, and I had to turn around and explain it in a way that they could understand, and it was, shall we say, eye-opener for them.
Miss Lucy, Bilbo doesn't know what it is. I asked him. So if you had a chance to explain to him, I'm sure he would love to know.
Maybe in a bit when I have more proper time to prepare, because I kind of use a phone that shows YouTube. So, when he's got time to actually see a movie with 3 VHS.
Oh, he's a smart fella. You could just explain it to him. But I understand. No worries.
This is something more of having to see it rather than trying to explain it and describe it.
No, you're right. It's definitely something it's kind of unbelievable. You have to see it to believe it. You're right. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You're fine. I saw it back in early 80s, and I've been scarred ever since.
Yes. We'll also have to introduce you to him. You know, I feel like the first thing he ever did was use it. Right in the middle of Elysium, so he must love the shadow move. So I was just kind of curious, you know?
He used he used the arms Armin in the middle of Elysium.
Yes, that's how much he likes me.
You do realize you're really not supposed to be using powers in the middle of Elysium, right?
Yes, to break the rules to show how much he likes me. It was amazing. I mean, the deputy came over, but the deputy loves Violet, so it was all right.
Okay, well, I'm going to tell you now that I'm not going to be doing that in Elysium, no matter how much anyone I like anyone. They have certain decorums I will not break.
Oh no, I didn't mean to. Please forgive me. I didn't mean to imply that you had to do it in Elysium. I was just telling you.
Yeah, he
what
was
a good
so
friend
really...
he is.
Oh, I see.
Yes, you know.
Interesting. So, what did you do to for him to do this for him? I'm sure he did it for knowledge or exchanging of something, or did he do just a flash and flicks?
I think it was basically just to say hello, you know, because we were just chatting a little bit, and then he just did it out of nowhere. So I haven't seen it before, so it was pretty neat. Yeah.
You're telling me that somebody did the arms of Arman in the middle of Elysium, wiggling and waving just to say hello?
No why else he would do it. We were getting along fine.
You really don't know what arms of Arman are used for, do you?
No, but it looked really cool.
Let's just say this second hold several people at once. And not in a good way. It's our way to reaching out, say hello, and, kind of keep you for a while confined into a small space.
I have got to see this sometime.
Not in Elysium.
This is amazing. Not in Elysium, that's fine, but I've got to see this sometime. This sounds absolutely amazing. I'm fascinated by different powers. Please forgive me. I'm very interested.
Let's just say the powers of oblivion or something I'd never wish on anyone else.
Indeed. Well, thank you. And yes, but you've got to meet him now. I'm sure you're going to like him as much as I do.
I'm sure if he finds you as grand as you say, as well as the rest of all of you, then I'm sure I'll be able to fit in.
I mean, he's
In one
basically
way.
the only one who does not run away when I smile. So, yeah.
Oh, you don't know much about us, do you?
Tell me.
We wouldn't run away from the way that you're smiling.
No?
Why would we?
Creepy
Well,
as fuck.
Most people seem not to like my smile. Violet says I should try to not smile and be friendly, but I try, but it makes most people uncomfortable. But she just used the shadows of whatever you call it, the arms of whatever you call it.
The arms aren't the only thing that we use.
Oh.
There are many other things. Let's just put it this way. Oblivion is a part of my soul, and it slowly eats it away and slowly devours me into a cold abyss.
Lucy, I must ask. What happens when one belongs to the clan of shadows for too long?
What happens to any one of you that happens to be part of your clan for too long?
I think there is a reason there are very few aged kindred.
You think? You've heard the tales. You know what's going to come at some point.
Indeed. Well, thank you. I appreciate your forthrightness.
Let's just say knowledge is power, but if you don't have the right knowledge, how can you utilize it as power?
Indeed.
You didn't read much of the Harry Potter series when it came out, now did you?
Harry Potter?
Aye?
I believe I've heard of it.
It's 7, I think it's 7 books. Violet, is that 7 books? Or is it 8? Or is it my mind trying to remember it's 8 movies and 7 books?
Snuck into one of them, I think. I can't remember.
That's fair. Look it up at some time and research the House of Ravenclaw.
Ravenclaw.
Aye?
Indeed. Thank you.
I think you need to know a wee bit about it.
I look forward to doing my research.
You're welcome.
Hentai and Harry
I
Potter
believe
in
we're
one
almost
car
there.
ride. Don't you hang your head in shame. You did it, young lady.
Oh, you call me young. You're so sweet. I'm not hanging my head in shame. I'm trying not to break a camera. Fuck you.
Oh, have you heard about this thing
man.
called hentai? It's great. It's all about tentacles shoving themselves up minges. Oh, by the way, what about Harry Potter? That's great. I love reading Harry Potter and hentai on the same night.
If you didn't actually do the Harry Potter in the same night, then I mean, you're not paying normal, pop culture and woods. Is it right, man?
I'll tell you, I know why fucking Snape was such a fucking jerk.
I mean, why? You gotta tell us now.
Well, you see, what happened was someone took away his hentai.
Well, he did actually have a snake in the end that kind of killed him, so I mean, he was wrapped up in one way or another.
Aye, and you should have seen the size of his trouser snake after he was reading the hentai. That's why he was so pissed off.
Well, I mean, he didn't have anyone to blow around about, so, I mean, what did you speak?
Well, Slytherin, that was like his trouser snake.
No,
That
that
was
was his
Slytherin.
completely another personality, to be honest.
It's time for break.
And with that, it's a complete other dog.
Oh.
I think we'll take a break here. I can
Oh,
find the
fair
thing.
enough.
Great, right. Well, we'll be right back. The
At
entire
Lorvan.
Elysium throws up.
Are you just gonna wave over at Lorvan?
He blanks you.
See, Violet, he's excited to see us. And I'm gonna like, look, Miss Lucy, that's Bilbo over there. But we should see the harpy first. She's the wonderful one over in the booth there.
Do you drink, Lucy?
At times.
She's
Sometimes
fucking
it's good.
Scottish. Asking her if she drinks is like, do ducks swim?
Okay, but there's also the undead factor.
Won't stop a Scot.
Right.
Hey.
I think that it helps to have something in your hand sometimes when you're
Oh,
here.
I know.
I'll get you something.
You know, a single malt would be great.
Can do. She'll go to the
Perfect.
bar, get the single malt, and for herself, she'll get an El Presidente.
I don't know what that is, but the barman sure as hell does, and will mix.
It's a rum-based cocktail. Just know that much.
And you are presented with your drinks. Violet, what were you saying? Or did I trip out?
You tripped out.
I'm sorry.
You should be.
I'm sorry, Pixie. You are presented with your drinks. Would anyone else like a drink of any kind? Or just blood?
I guess
Trisha would have added the special red on top of that. Sorry, go ahead.
There you go. I'll just grab some blood.
You'll be presented with a whiskey tumbler filled with blood. And when you drink it, you may slake one hunger.
Mm-mm-mm.
Violet? What are you up to?
Violet asks the bartender.
Has the harpy drunk this evening?
The harpy is currently nursing something. But I'm sure if you wish to bring her something extra, she wouldn't say no.
Yes, please. I'd like her favourite.
I'm not sure she would... I'll just pour it and she can choose if she wants to drink it before or after her announcement.
Oh,
Hmm.
do you know what the announcement will be?
I do not have such privilege.
Oh.
But it
Lantridge is
must
going
be
to raise his
important.
eyebrow at Violet.
Hmm.
It must be important if most of the kindred of the Camarilla are here tonight.
I want to look around and see if I know anyone, recognize anyone.
All the Nosferatu for starters.
Which I wave at enthusiastically.
And of course you'll get scattered waves and nods back.
Any roses I know?
Just Pandora. strangely enough, there are no other Toreador within Elysium tonight.
Okay, then I get her drink and I start to take it over.
You walk over to Pandora, who is sat comfortably in her scarlet lit booth. That was a tricky one to say. Greetings, child.
Can you... I brought you a drink.
How kind of you. Please, won't you join me?
Thank you.
Curtsies and sits down.
Blanche will help her to her seat.
Thank you.
Good evening to you as well, Lantre.
Blanche will smile and give a bow. It's a pleasure to see you.
Would you care to join us?
It would be...
Sure.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
I'm helping all of you sit down.
Oh yeah, but before Patricia sits down, she'll give, deeper than her standard, head nod. Actually, like a head nod. Now I can't talk. And she'll look at Miss Sombra. Madam Prince, if you haven't already, I would like you to meet Miss Lucy here, the newest addition to our coterie.
Pleasure to meet you. Are you planning on staying permanently in the city?
Oh, I think I'll be staying here for a wee bit, aye.
Ah, you have an accent.
Ah, so do you. I mean, I can actually talk like this if you prefer, but I normally like to speak in my native one.
Only
I
a
normally
cunt would
don't
sound
go
like that.
in. I know, I can be one.
I preferred it when we were talking about hentai and Harry Potter.
But if you actually wanted to go into, a proper accent, I like to talk to me in my own, if that's okay with you. And you can talk in your own too. I think the only one that's really going to call both of us having an accent is if we go over to America. No offense, Patricia.
Aren't you just over here wide-eyed?
I have only the
You're
one
not
voice
able to
myself. Oh, I missed that. Say that one again.
I mean, there are people in my home country that talk like this.
Aye. They do. And if you actually prefer the, more of an Italiano accent, I can also do that. But I prefer, again, the Scottish. Because that's what I truly am.
Yeah, so you get both of those in New England. Again,
Oh.
no offense.
I spent time in New York. I spent time in New York so I could try and talk, all sorts of, oh my god, why aren't you married and didn't you have kids yet? So, which accent would you actually prefer?
Your natural one is sufficient for now.
Oh, I'm glad.
But if you prefer, I can talk with my normal accent as well. I'm going to try and keep up with that.
I would hope you were talking your own natural accent. I have a feeling you're more English than you are anything else, eh?
I was born and raised in London, and then
Oh,
came
I'm
to
sorry.
Oxford later.
Haven't you gone about the world yet?
Why would
Or
I
you
need to
to-
leave?
wait. Why wouldn't you want to leave?
England is the pearl of the empire.
Oh, you're not talking about... You're forgetting the crown jewel over in Chicago?
Isn't that part of one of the colonies?
I don't know. I wasn't the one who lost it.
Nor was I.
Aye,
He-
fair.
Even that was before my time.
I was there shortly after. Something like that.
I hear the
Around the
brigands I hear the brigands put the tea in the water. Absolutely disgusting. Everyone knows you
Well,
put the tea in first.
You know, sometimes when you gotta make a bit of a splash, you don't care, and you just do it the way that you can. I know. Didn't we have to do something with some Higgins Wolf thing? I think we kept the Romans out quite well, don't you?
I try not to be involved with rumours of wolves. I have a reputation to keep.
Walls! Higgins Wall! Stop the Romans from coming in. Do you know history?
Is there anyone here who speaks English?
Oh, for fuck's sake! If you're actually gonna be such a, wee bit of a bitch, really, come on.
Christ, I feel like I'm getting the authentic Scot experience here. Just call me a southern pansy and have done with it.
I mean, I didn't mean to disrespect you, but I mean, it's kind of, you're getting that way. I mean, I did offer you English accent if you preferred.
A choice I now regret.
I know, isn't it?
I understand you've all had good news tonight.
Comes now.
Excellent. The spots are being filled slowly and the hierarchy is being rebuilt. Though it will be interesting to see what happens with the news I have tonight for you all.
Is everything okay?
It shall be in time.
Does it have anything to do with the red list? Because that apparently is my jurisdiction.
It is not directly connected to the red list, but it might be in some time.
I shall be sure to pay even more attention to you.
You'd be wise to. Lantre, were you accepted into the Archon ranks as well?
Yes, ma'am, and it is in no small. Thanks to you, so I'm very grateful for your help and assistance.
Be wise to keep yourself within the Archons. Tremere in this country have traditionally a muddied history. Being an Archon will at least afford you some modicum of respect.
Thank you. It'll be a new experience.
Violet, I understand you were personally recommended by Akami.
Yes. Did me a great service.
And I'm sure you will all be of great service to the Camarilla as a whole.
Of course.
But I shan't steal any more of your time. Thank you for the refreshment, Violet. Please, feel free to mingle for a while before I make my announcement. It might do good for the kindred to see that Archons are back. Now fuck off.
Andre will stand with the bow.
The moment the prince starts to make the hand motion, Patricia just like, yep, I'm out. Not even giving her the head nod.
Lucy never sat, so she's just like, and kind of does her own like, you fuck off too. Bye.
Always interesting to see how people respond to that one.
You fuck off. No, you fuck off. everyone just fucks off. This is fine.
Who would you like to talk to next? I'll get his character sheet.
I think we should actually say hi to your clan, dear Violet.
Yes, there's not many of you here in this city. And it's curious when it comes to standing, you know. My clan, the clan of kings, queens, what have you. Considered high. Shamir, Nosferatu, low. You guys are in the middle. There's not a lot of you here, but then again, he's pretty much the only one of him here. And he does have a placement. It's almost like this city still doesn't know what to do with you.
Dear Patricia, is that standing in reality or in your own mind?
In reality, I would not be here, chosen to flee the city of the goddamn prince. No, we will not go there again. We will not go there him. We will not further sully this Elysium by speaking further and saying his name. I would not have chosen a new city to locate to, were my clan not considered high. I did my research.
I am glad you think so highly of yourself. I am actually interested in paying respects to your clan now, Violet, if you wouldn't mind showing us that way.
Okay.
Skips over.
You'll see that most of the clan are talking quietly amongst themselves, with Back just glad to be there, mostly ignored.
Violet makes a big show of it then, and she
Back,
Good evening, cousins.
and curtsies, making sure everyone can see her.
Back will stand up. Violet, I'm so relieved that you're here. Finally someone to talk to. How are you? You've brought your friends. I like friends.
Always. Did you hear the news?
What news?
We're Archons now.
All of you?
Oh, not the new one.
Oh. What wonderful, joyous news! Archons! In our city! What's an Archon?
Sweet, sweet thing.
Puts her hands on his face and just
It means we're very important.
Well, of course you are. We already knew this. I mean, one of you is Ventru. One of you is you, Violet. I'm not sure who this new person is, but she looks extremely grandiose. And Lantre is also with you.
The afterthought. And Landre's just going to look down sadly.
Very, very important. He's a very important job.
What does he do?
He's my friend.
He's your friend?
Yes.
Then he is my friend too. Would you be my friend?
Landre just gives one of his amazingly huge smiles and says yes.
And you say he's Tremere, but he smiles like that?
I smile a little
Oh.
wider, trying to make it more.
Oh God, make it stop.
real.
Landry, loosen the jaw a bit when you smile.
He just like drops his whole jaw. It's just this
No.
wide open smile.
Drop it like a centimetre or two when you smile, just to kind of give your lips a little bit of a gap so you're not like so tight-lipped.
He tries to drop it a centimeter more than it's already dropped.
She'll just actually, if it's okay, she will actually gently adjust his jaw to make it somewhat palatable smile.
And Laundry's gonna put his hand, his fist on his hip, and he's gonna be smiling there proudly, while Lucy's just holding up his jaw.
It's an attempt.
Violet would just be like, ta-da!
Violet, what do I do?
Smile back.
It's a pleasure to make a new friend, sir. But we must introduce you to Miss Lucy.
Yes, who is this new person? New friend?
I?
Yes.
I.
I what?
Yeah.
Smile, Lucy, smile.
She rambles off at a little bit of Italian for the moment. And then she'll go, I am a friend. Means yes in Scottish.
Oh! Are you Scottish?
No, I'm walking around with a Scottish brogue just because I want to turn around and see how many heads I can turn so you can say that you kind of understand me because I'm not speaking English.
Violet, what did she say?
It says that I'm actually trying to speak English to you in my native language, my native accent. That's what I was saying to you.
I can't help but feel like she's talking down to me now.
I mean, you're not exactly understanding me in my native accent, so what am I supposed to do? Translate for you.
I mean, I don't know. I don't get to talk with many people these days.
Why not?
Or old days. They don't like me.
Why?
But it's weird because I'm the Primogen, and you'd think that would require a lot of communication between my clanmates and the prince, and no one talks to me.
Lots of deals to be made, and you're not making any deals at all.
No.
Why not?
I don't know. They do it all themselves. It's quite a nice job.
You're the information master. Information flows in and out of you, does it not?
No. You have me confused with someone else in the class. Someone else does that. I am just a Primogen. I don't need to do the information. That's what other people are for.
Are you sure? Because you're making it sound like that. Whatever you're the Primogen of, that, this tower doesn't need such a position anymore.
Don't say that so loud.
Maybe you should use a bit of ambition to get some information to start wheeling and dealing.
I mean, I've told everything I know about the Anarchs, because when I used to be one... Shit, I shouldn't have said that.
Oh, I understand now completely. Were you not raised proper in here?
There are ways to be raised properly?
Yes. What are
Why
the six
haven't any of them
traditions?
told me that?
Because you haven't bartered for it. You can't get information from nothing. Why am I telling you Nosferatu and how to be Nosferatu?
Because you're nice? Because you're friend!
Nosferatu trade in secrets and information. You know the boon system, eh?
Yes. The more
Cool.
dynamite you put into an explosion, the bigger the boom.
Boon. Oh, for fuck's sake. A boon system, as in B-O-O-N. You trade boons for information.
Patricia just leans over to Violet and whispers in his ear, "How in the world did he get this position?"
One of the Nosferatu, dressed as an old... Sorry, Violet, please go ahead. Sorry.
No, she's just like,
Just giggling.
she's just exacerbated, like,
One of the Nosferatu catches wind of the conversation, one dressed as an old world nun, and walks over and puts her arm around Back and just guides him back to the head of the table. We have an arrangement. Back hasn't got a fucking clue, which gives us far more freedom. You don't make deals with Back, you make deals with the rest of us. He is a figurehead.
So, Cirilla, you're the neck that's turning the head around?
It's more of a collective.
Was he the last one to get into the door or something?
Something like that.
Are
He
you going to
was-
teach him at all?
Why would we? We can enjoy so much more things ourselves the way we want to if he just stumbles around and at some point he'll get killed.
Okay, I have to say, you guys are the most interesting group of Nosferatu that I met. Normally it's clan before sect, but this is quite different.
Well, we believe, of course, as a family, we should all stick together, which is why we haven't just crucified Back and let him out for the sun. But the previous Primogen was a dick. And so we thought we'd just have a little bit more fun and run things our way.
So, when running, you're making sure that he's getting tripped so he's a sacrificial lamb.
That's the idea.
Understood, Cirilla. She is using the Italian word for sister, as she's dressed as a nun.
Her name's Batehaven.
Okay, she's dressed in a nun's habit, so she's giving her the courtesy of calling her sister.
Yeah. But please don't rock the boat too much. We don't want him starting to think for himself or anything.
Oh, precious the thought.
Couldn't handle it.
I won't say much anything. I'll keep it
discretion.
mum.
Your discretion is
course.
appreciated, and should you ever need any services Nosferatu provide, and she will just pass you a completely blank card.
There will be a black card with only a number on it. Pass back.
Have a lovely evening, Archons. Violet, would you be in the pile later?
Of course.
Excellent. And she'll just move herself back to the jet table.
I'm just gonna whisper. I'm not gonna lie. That one scares me a lot of all the people we've met. Very few understand the power of knowledge.
She's probably the real head of your clan, Violet. Do take note.
Oh, I know. He's quite special.
Oh! Yeah? Yeah, you can say that. Oh, she's real special.
Hmm.
What does she mean by pile?
We all sleep in a cuddle pile. Under the city.
You said cuddle pile.
Cuddle. Like cuddled together like puppies.
Oh, well, that's something that I haven't heard of. Interesting way of putting it. Thank you for explaining. You must have a very tight-knit clan here.
Been here that long.
How long
I
have you
made
been?
them do it.
What?
Made them have the cuddle pile.
Pray tell how?
Older than most of them.
You're older than most of them.
Of them.
I was today years old when I found this one out.
Like to brag.
No, I mean, sometimes it's good to brag, to explain to people that are coming into the city a wee bit of how things move and shake.
Tell them what to do and they do it.
No payment or anything, it's just they do what you say.
Mostly.
Okay! This is through education right now.
That was even before you became Archon. Now, imagine what you can get out of him.
I'm older than I look.
You know, I can totally see this. Mm-hmm. You're like the Claudia of the group. If you've ever read Interview with Vampire.
Yes,
No.
I did sneak into that one when that came out.
I have to admit, the movie didn't give the book justice at all. And then the whole conglomerate of the second movie putting two books into one. Oi! That was horrid. It's right trash to me.
Still better than the fucking Hobbit.
We haven't even gotten to that one yet.
Seen it.
What movies haven't you seen?
Movies?
Cinema?
Oh. It's been a while.
Great. Okay. Cinema night in my house at some point, I take it.
Have a house?
Speaking of, with me being here for a while and us having a quota, I mean, you know, most of us being Archons now, we're gonna be world travelers now. But, you know, we don't have control over it. Kind of how American military vacation works. That's a conversation for another night. But, yeah, I've been looking at some real estate here for a house that would be mutually all of ours while we are here. If only one of us are here, you would have access to it, of course.
Cuddle pile.
Yes, I have it narrowed down to 5 or 6 final options. I'll send everybody the files as soon as I wake on the morrow.
I don't know about the cuddle pile, but a nice, you know what? There's a beanbag sofa that has a flap on it that you can actually make into a huge cuddle pile of yourself. And you know what? I will show you the pictures when I get back. I can print them out for you.
They're fluffy too, aren't they?
Oh, it's like sleeping on a cloud.
Launcher's gonna be like, Miss Lucy, that is a wonderful idea. Thank
Yeah.
you.
You make your own cuddle pile, and on top of that, it gives a space for everyone to kind of experience it on themselves, but at the same time, you're all cuddling in your own wee bed.
Could Miss Truffles come?
Yes, of course.
Who's that?
Oh, my fox.
As long
It's
as he's
Philip.
okay. If he's okay with us.
Well, he has mange, and his teeth are all wonky, and he smells a bit strange, but he's my ghoul.
I would expect nothing less from your clan, to be honest. If he can handle a kindred, he will be in your own special pile. How's that? Is that acceptable?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh my. So who are you going to introduce to me next? I have a feeling this is your theater, not my own.
Luncher is supposed to best friend at court.
Well, I mean,
Behind Lantry.
okay. Well, is the Oh, Shiv, I think you're muted. Were you
No,
saying
I'm thinking without interrupting.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Well, how about the guard, deputy dude? He's on the way. Yeah, we've got to meet him.
Thorn?
Yeah.
You got the constable
He's not
looking
here.
over the.
Oh,
Yeah, you
it's the
haven't got Thorn
constable.
tonight. You got the constable, same one that you talked to earlier.
Oh, that's sad. Well, I guess we should go and see Bilbo.
Okay. I'll let you lead the way on this one.
Lantre is going to just make a pretty agitated beeline straight for the La Sombra with a smile on his face.
He's excited about this, I'm taking it.
Every single time. And when they're not here, they pout for the rest of the night.
I'm just kind of like, I heard that, and just keep going.
You walk over to Lorvan, who is currently reading, Thumbing Your Way Across the Galaxy, a guide. You approach him. He does not put down his book.
Bilbo,
Not my name.
Baggins?
Who are these wonderful people with you?
Well, you know Miss Violet and Miss Patricia, but we have to introduce you to Miss Lucy. I think you'll be very interested to know her. She can do the shadow thing too.
Closes the book, places it very carefully on the table and stands. Miss Lucy, is it?
Aye.
Please, would you like a seat?
Yes, thank you. And she will take a seat. And she'll sit Duchess style, with her hands on her lap.
I'm so pleased that we have someone else of great taste and respect in this city at long last.
I take it you've been about. You haven't had much about here.
The Seneschal was of our blood, but I had to end him.
What happened? Was he not
He-
worthy?
He was planning an unjust takeover.
Understood. Well, you did have what you did what you must.
Exactly. His
I see
plans
nothing
would
wrong
not
with
have
it.
worked. I had to employ the use of a former coterie of the city. They were very useful, but very big-headed.
Right, becoming the fall, I take it.
They tried to take far too much credit for a plan that I enacted.
And so scapegoat they must be.
Exactly.
Understood. Seems very efficient.
Exactly. I could not take the seneschal by myself, and they proved to be more than just bait.
They enacted everything exactly.
They went, more or less according to plan.
Some adaptations are always acceptable, but as long as it was in between the margins.
They acted efficiently, and we were able to dispatch the seneschal swiftly. Unfortunately, this has had the effect of there is no current seneschal in the city.
How many of us are here? Just you?
Just you and I, currently.
I see. Well, at least it's in good company, I take it.
The city is run efficiently.
How about effectively?
The prince is very persuasive. Her favourite method of persuasion is to tie wayward kindred to a cross and leave them to kiss the morning sun. It's inspiring.
Well, if they're not worthy of it, then why have them?
Exactly.
I take it of your line, you're here because you are chosen, or were you because of the blood?
My sire was... He'll look to the other three. Was in the Middle East, we shall say.
Right.
I put him to the
And
torch
you?
myself, and I travelled here.
Were you of the other sect, or were you here always come?
Technically, I was never of the other sect, although those here do not even believe that other sect even exists.
Why would they ever believe the other one exists? At least we know where the enemy is.
They are young. Mithras, when he was alive, was extremely effective at keeping them away. And now all that is left of the sect in this land are fairy tales and stories of boogeymen.
And do they turn around and know about the chateaus, or no? Or are we a myth too?
We are understood and feared.
That's right.
It's something we can live with.
I'll live with it for most of my life. I can handle a little bit more.
And we have only but to wait 50 more years, and we will be able to establish our rightful place within the tower.
She'll gently look at Patricia and then look back at him going, there may be some competition for a man, I understand.
Well, it wouldn't be worth doing if it weren't for competition, but of course, I already know we shall be successful.
We usually are. Well, it's good to know that you chose over here. I was born into it, so I'm sure you knew my line. I don't have to go into the details.
A pleasure. An honour, even.
It's rightfully so. He did a lot for it. I may have been shun in the past, but you know what? Those that come out victorious are stronger for it.
And only the strong will be victorious.
The strongest will prevail, of course.
And so you have been assigned with these two capable kindred and the Tremere?
Monster's gonna smile.
I've been assigned to all three of them.
I'm glad that they have someone capable watching over them.
With new ones and new things that are going on about, I'm sure that they are highly capable and very effective in each of their positions. I'm sure this will be more of a interesting watch and an eye-opening understanding of what each is capable of and how they can be as effective and efficient in their jobs as they are been assigned to.
I'm sure if they are lacking, you will bring them up to speed efficiently.
As we all are, We all have to be that way, eh?
If you do not succeed, you fail. If you fail, you will be put to the sun.
Of course. Why would you think it any other way?
You may have your work cut out with this one. He gestures at Lantry.
I find that sometimes the books, when you're reading that little back flap of the 30-minute elevator ride, sometimes there are things that are missed in between the lines. And sometimes information's hidden.
And I believe it was Mark Twain that once also said a cigar is sometimes just a cigar.
Aye, but you never judge a book by its cover until I actually read most of the passages, eh?
But if you were not to judge a book by its cover, then how would you know if you were even interested in the book in the first place?
Well, simple. Do the math on it first. The mathematical calculation on its own is only a mathematical calculation, but when you turn around and put it into code, what doors can you open that were quietly closed?
He's just a Tremere.
Yeah. And a computer is just a computer, and yet I can manipulate it into making codes to open up back doors into different places and websites, and I can hack. I can use a phone that's a BlackBerry, and yet we can't use proper technology, and yet I am.
I would trust you more with technology than I would with a wayward usurper.
But a wayward usurper sometimes do have the hidden benefits that they haven't showed up right and quick, have they? Sometimes in the shadows we hide a little bit of here and there.
This one's good for you, Lantry. You may actually be capable in her hands.
Lantry's just going to put his hand on the cover of the book and say, I never could quite get the hang of Thursdays.
Or I could also be wrong.
Think of it this way. Sometimes things need a wee bit more polish than others. The more you polish it, the smoother they are, the more effective they become. And you might learn a little bit of this and that along the way, and you'll be actually brighter for it.
Of course, though, there is also the old idiom, you can only polish a turd so much.
Sure, I know. You can take it, you can only make, try to make a pig's ear into a silk purse. But at the same time, if you don't accept the challenge, then where are you for it?
It's funny you mention a pig's ear could be turned into a silk purse, for I knew a kindred that could do similar.
And how'd they learn how to do it?
In a place that apparently does not exist.
Well, Utopia is nowhere.
I hope
Give
we
them a bit
converse
of a
more.
doubt.
I hope we converse more. It's been a refreshing change of pace.
Likewise.
And at that moment, Pandora gracefully walks into the centre of the large underground room and proceeds to make her announcement as she calls for attention of all those gathered. Kindred of Oxford, these nights bring strange and dangerous tidings. Word has come down from the very tower itself, as nothing in the Camarilla's purview is ever forgotten or unseen. The Anarchs are organising an uprising. From this moment onwards, and for the foreseeable future, the city of Oxford is no longer allowing any kindred to leave the city without express permission of the Prince herself. New arrivals are still permitted, though, of course. Until the Anarchs have been annihilated, the Masquerade must be preserved. We will do what we do best. Stay hidden. Remain quiet, and let the Anarchs sign their own death warrant. the Anarchs are to draw the ire of the Second Inquisition, then we may have to step in to protect ourselves. That is all. Now all of you, fuck off. And most of the gathered kindred swan to the bar, returning their glasses of vitae, and shunter up the iron winding staircase. Pandora, of course, stays, as does Lorvan.
I think we should speak with Pandora.
What about?
Well, perhaps she has more information for us.
You go ahead, and she'll reach into her suit and take out the pendant that the Hakata gave her. And she's I'm forgetting to mention, she does walk with that cane now. She doesn't need it, but England status thing. She'll take it around. Yeah, she'll take that off, put it on the table, put the cane across the table. I need to take a closer look at these. Go on.
Is this to Pandora?
Oh, to the coterie.
Oh, cool.
Because they want to go speak to her.
So, we're going to make our way over there now, yeah?
If you're okay, Patricia, you're fine?
Yeah, you're far. You're within shot, and this is our temporary Elysium. I'll be fine.
That's
all
fine. Alright. Thought I'd ask. Best
mean,
be polite.
You are welcome to join me if you would not to talk to the prince, but free will and all.
Fair enough. She'll let Landry and Violet go talk to Pandora if they want. If the prince available or no?
Oh, the prince is here?
No, he's not. No.
Oh, that was my bad. I meant to say Pandora when I said prince. P-words.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Okay, good. So we're
No,
gonna... Okay, cool.
No,
I
she'll
just-
hang out with Patricia because you can only take so much of a rose.
That's fair. Okay, so we don't have to speak with Pandora. What would you like to do then? I will defer to you.
Hello. And Miss shit, I'm brain farting. Junie, your character's name, I'm sorry.
Lucy?
Lucy, I knew it was an L name. Lucy, there was a gentleman a while ago of the Hakata that showed up and gave me these items here. Connections to Mithras. I happen to have abilities that you normally find among those of Malkav or the Bros. Long story, I'll explain why another night. I don't have, a lot of training in it, but I can do a couple things. I can, look into the Futata, as the Bruja like to say, the true Bruja that I grew up around. And I can also check for wards and the not and such.
So you have the power of Auspics then.
Some of it,
Nice.
yeah.
Well done.
Thank you. I do hope to come across another trainer soon because, oh my god, they would be instrumental in this right now, but I need further confirmation that these are indeed connected to Mithras.
Understood.
Probably shouldn't do it at Elysium, though. It's kind of obvious when you do it premonition. Though, she will look to see if the wards are still in place.
Yep. Wards will still be there. You don't need to roll for that either. That'll be... Yeah.
Right. Excellent. Still, let's move this to the car then, if you don't want to have that conversation.
I have no problem. I mean, if you want to do this here, it's Elysium, so
Exactly. I don't want to do a premonition at Elysium.
okay.
So,
But please, anything else that you want to take care of?
No, I mean, as the harpy politely said, "Fuck off." I mean, we can all just fuck off, or as the Irish say, "fake off." But either way, it's just fucking off.
Exactly. I'm used to Lantre ignoring that. Let us go.
Of course.
so
Well, we're fucking off now. Thank you.
Finish the
Bad when
last
someone
sentence.
else says it. Sorry, Lantre, what were you saying?
no, not at all. We're good. Well, if we're walking out just before we walk out.
No, you're
I'll
fucking
hang
off,
the-
not walking out. You're fucking
We're-
off.
Fucking off. Okay. As you do that, as they walk away, I'll just take the book from Lorvain and I'll flip it open to the line that I quoted earlier. Lorvain, do you actually read the books that you hold, or you just try to appear smart? And I'll follow them.
Name's Lorvan.
Dork fan. That's his name now. Yeah.
Lucy will give Lorvain a proper curtsy before she leaves, out of respect, and then head off.
You'll get a nod back.
Violet sticks out her tongue at him before she leaves.
The pendant will go into the
Okay.
trouser pocket and just, walk with the cane.
Go on, Lantre, what are you doing?
Well, I just said the line and
That was it.
turned and
okay.
left.
Okay.
Yeah.
The coterie head out onto the warm summer night of Oxford and get into their car and just begin driving aimlessly as they converse.
So yeah, Patricia will take the pendant out, put it in her lap, kind of look at the cane a little bit, and do the Since the Unseen. So I am going to browse. Where is it? There it is.
Oh, you're going to have to save me looking through like a billion notes. What was the pendant of? If you remember, please.
It came from the Hakata guest player, Timey Wimey, from your Gaslight, and it was the Hakata player, and it was like directly connected to Mithras, both items. So he was like, "Hey, Venture, Mithras, here you go."
Okay.
While she does all this, Lucy will actually turn an Oblivion sight to take a look at the objects, if there's anything tethered to them.
Okay.
Or any ghosts about.
Okay, so resolve, surge failed. Sad face.
No.
Now let's.
No. When you blood surge, you get the bonus no matter what. It's whether
I
or not
know.
you gain a hunger.
Oh, I know. That's what I'm saying. Hunger went up. Okay, so now I'm forcing for the premonition.
Are getting hungry tonight.
Oh, yes, we are. Okay, let me make that one mark. Technically 3, but I do that after the roll. Aspect.
Wonderful.
Oh, wait. I rolled the wrong thing. Oh, well. Sure, we'll do premonition first rather than Since the Unseen.
Okay.
But since this is the end of session, I'm going to go ahead and willpower that bad boy.
You will get flashes of memory from the object itself. Strange masked figures all gathered together. The place that it is in does not seem like Oxford. From what you know of the place, it looks like London, but not modern day. And then the final flash of memory is someone sipping from a small saucer-like object and feeling the tug of a far more powerful, older kindred. Lucy, you wanted to do Oblivion Sight, correct? Okay. Give me the roll for Oblivion Sight. Is it free?
It's free.
Oh, right.
The system unactivated. My eyes go unnaturally and tuned into the darkness. And then I look to see if there's any ghost presence or anything of that sort. That gives me an idea of where things are, where ghosts are, or if there's any wounds around people, things like that. They're in supernatural.
The amulet itself has a very vague aura to it of white, but it seems to be fading. But there are no spirits or ghosts around.
Okay. She'll look at Patricia and she'll go, you know, it's got an aura about it, eh?
Yeah, I kind of saw something. It was more of a feeling, but let me try one other thing. And this time I will do the Sense the Unseen roll.
Resolve in all specs, I think?
Yeah.
Wonderful. And you will see the same vague white aura around the medallion. Although when you look upon it, it seems as though the smoky, wispy aura trails off in a direction that you're unable to place.
Yeah, I was taking
I'm
notes.
going to give you a bit more for 5, I think, actually. You will
Eh.
notice that Violet and Luntre also have the same similar aura around them, but theirs is far more faded.
Yes, this is curious. It's actually making me think of a couple things that story for another night again. But in my premonition, I didn't really see a face or anything, but I did see a being drinking from something. Who knows? It could have been a damn skull. And she just looks at the head of the cane, which is, I imagine, a head of a skull. I don't think that was ever clarified.
If it's... Are you going with the motif that we discussed the other day?
Uh-huh.
Then it's going to be like a bull's skull or bull's head.
Yeah. And she's like, the premonition. It was like, I've heard the elders speak of the beckoning. It wasn't quite like that, but there was this pull. It wasn't like, someone trying to summon me. I don't know too well. But then I looked at it, like just changing the lenses of the glasses. And the aura, it's... I don't understand why it's the same aura as Lantry and Violet here. And from the amulet, at least, the aura, which, by the way, the white aura that these have, and the same aura that you two have, yours is fainter. But the aura from the amulet, there's... I can't fucking tell where it's going, but there's like a wisp of like some sort of tracking or location sort of thing. There's theories that Mithras lives just in a different way. They might be trying to go back to him.
So it definitely has something to do with Mithras, correct?
Hmm.
I remember Mithras. I was around when he was around.
How are you? Huh.
Older than I look.
What did you do when you were a wee one, while you were still alive?
Time?
No, did you play games or something? Or did you have a favourite doll?
Oh, I wasn't really allowed out much. I stayed inside. Playing.
What did you play?
No.
Hmm?
Piano.
You played the piano too? Who was your favourite composer of the time?
Violet would know, but Scarlet does not.
Is it somewhere in the 1800s? Or earlier?
Go with the
Oh,
classic.
yeah.
Go with Chopin or Beethoven or something. Or Mozart.
Chopin.
Debussy.
Chopin is a good one. I learned with Mozart. Not with him, but I learned with his music.
Wow. Okay, I was like, whoa.
Oh, beautiful composer.
Aye, yes.
You can see Violet's quite uncomfortable talking about it.
But yes, I was around when Mithras was. Maybe that has something to do with it.
Or us do wop up over on other people. Kind of like wash over them.
Ledger, you're not that old, are you? I think I'm older than you.
I know of Mithras. I was not there with Mithras.
Mithras was around long before me, but I was around both in kindred and in life around him. However, I never got to meet the man. It was good times.
I only came into this existence in the 80s. So, absolutely no. Never met or possibly crossed paths.
I mean, he did his job, he did it well, and for a man of his, shall we say, exploits, for the way that he, shall we say, met the final end, it was fitting for a warrior of his caliber.
Patricia, what do you know of Mithras' reign?
Again, I feel like Patricia would know more than what I do.
Sorry.
No.
The only reason I would have any question would be not because of your heritage, but because of your heritage, who your sire, whether or not your sire would associate with the old world venture or not.
That is a difficult question considering where I pulled him from.
Yeah.
But considering something I do know, I'm gonna say no. Oh, maybe? No,
Then you
yeah.
would only know, just from being Ventru, that he, and this is a Ventru point of view, that he was extremely well regarded extremely efficient at his job, and it was an absolute tragedy when he passed.
Yeah, so she'll just shrug. Another heart attack, from what I understood.
They do have a bit of a commanding voice.
Handsome.
I heard that. Aye. Was he as grand as they said he was?
Oh, yes.
That's what they say.
I heard he was a fair and firm ruler. But if you crossed him, then it was hell to pay. I take it that is so?
Yes. Such lovely hair.
Was he a lion?
Oh.
Violet swoons slightly.
Did he make Richard the Third look like, some pauper prince?
Beautiful.
Did you look on him often? Or did you see him when you could?
Times.
That's fair. Okay, well that's good. It's good to know that all the rumours that I had heard were true.
Liked him.
Yes, Langery?
No, sorry, go on.
No, go for it.
I'm just going to jump in and say, sadly, another curse of my clan. He did not particularly care for the Chimera, so I never had the pleasure to meet the man. He was still intent on keeping us out.
Well, I'm sure I wouldn't have actually been able to meet the man either. Unless, I was sponsored.
Oh, I am the baby of the group again. I'm not used to this. And she just crosses her arms a little bit, pouting, sinks deeper into the seat.
Laundry's going to look at Patricia and say, but Patricia, apart from our differences, thank you for sharing your insights. You did not have to give them to me, so thank you.
I mean, we're a coterie that's supposed to work together, unlike the standard, are we not?
Don't think of yourself as being the baby of the group. Think of yourself as being the most alive of the group that has gone through more of what the humans nowadays have experienced, and you can enlighten us at times when it gets down right to it. When you don't know, you don't know, and unfortunately, when you kind of figure it out, you're there to say, no, this is what it means.
I mean, to be fair, when you guys were talking about Harry Potter earlier, I read different things.
What did you read?
The New York Times. Didn't really read books, textbooks, yes, but none of that hocus pocus stuff.
Oh, I read for leisure. Sometimes when you're waiting for, a 60-bit program to bit down file, when you're making a big file go down and compress itself, it takes time. So, while you're dealing with a small Mac computer and you're actually trying to do all of your calculations, sometimes you just have to sit down and read something while you're waiting, because the more you punch the computer, the faster it does not go.
Yeah, see, and I get those things. I didn't do those things. I was the one who went into hotels, bars, restaurants, and turned into a drill sergeant. Because their kitchens were not up to par. Also, great thing is because, Tucson being how it is even back in the 80s, there were some business owners I could trick into partying with. And You know, next week I'd show up, I'd do an investigation. And you know, you think the front of the house staff, they're, the big party people and everything, but I tell you what, it is always the kitchen staff that know how to party. So I tell you what, go in there, you open up that stove and you're able to find that cocaine and you just get them. And that's the thing, if you're able to party with them beforehand, you don't have to turn over all of it because you got to with them the week prior and get some of it beforehand. So.
Well, at least you were full enough to make sure that you got the evidence prior to, so you didn't have to turn around and plant it. That's well done.
Yeah, just find out who's already dirty and take it from him and then take it from him again but a different way.
I mean, you're not wrong. I just turned around and strong-armed people and then learned their secrets and used them against them in blackmail. And then,
Just smiling.
And then turn around and if I had to kill him, I killed him. But that's after you win the love and respect of the community first. And then do everything else quietly on the side.
So, dear Lucy, why are you here again?
Help you through your way in these new titles that you have.
Indeed. I hope we live up to the expectations.
The expectations are there, and since you know my clan, you know where the expectation level is.
It's more... I like to think that there is more than one way to... What is that modern expression?
Skin a cat?
That's the one, thank you. There's more than one way to skin a cat, yes? So it's not always a failure if you go about something in a different way.
If you don't... I say this. If you get the objective done, one way or another, it's a success. If you fail from it, how'd it work out for you? And did you learn from it? Because you can only do so many failures before it comes to a cost and a price has to be paid.
Well, here's an idea, or a thought. I'd be interested to hear what you think on it. Playing a long game, when you live as long as we do, sometimes something might appear a failure, but you have something else in motion, and it is not, yes?
When you're spinning 7 plates and you drop one, how effective and efficient were you in managing all of the plates? I lost my husband, my family, and I got kicked, shall we say, gently deported to a new world. And then I had to learn how to get a job, learned how to bookkeep, learned how to turn around and manage what you could now call HR, human resources. And then from there, have to stand up to somebody, take over a shipping company because, the wee Irish person didn't understand a lick of Italian and didn't understand how to handle the workforce he had. And how you help not only them, but you help a whole people out of a borough to establish a good community. I mean...
It's worth the loss of one plate at that point, yes? For all that you accomplished.
Yes, but why weren't you paying attention to the one plate that fell? Because that could have been critical to something else. We're tested before we're turned. We're given a year. And if we don't match up, and if we don't become worthy of the blood, we get killed. So if I have 8 plates and I drop one, and that could have been critical to turning, I wouldn't be sitting here with you now, would I? It is called time management and project management.
I'm of the opinion it is impossible to be perfect.
I never said to be perfect. Efficient and effective.
Thank you for your insight. I appreciate it.
Perfection, which I understand your clan tends to like to be, misses the grander scheme of things. The detail is always good, But if you don't have the proper plates of motion, that grander, bigger picture could get lost.
But if you have to choose between dropping all of the plates in one plate, what do you do?
There is no dropping one plate or all of them. You do it right the first time or you don't do it at all.
The Camarilla allowed their tower, their Elysium, to be blown up, which could be considered a dropping of a plate, and yet out of it they rose all of this. So sometimes it's important to see the bigger picture, as you say.
But the thing is that you're actually trying to already make excuses for failure when you haven't even started yet. So are you cutting off your nose to spite your face?
I'm more agreeing with the Camarilla's way of running things, yes? Sometimes you have to let out a little bit of string to catch the bigger fish.
That's why you let them go and meet the sun. Because if they aren't worthy of the blood, are they worthy at all? And how effective and efficient will they be to you and your coterie, keeping them all alive and keeping the Camarilla safe?
But if you lose one fish and gain an entire school, you can still reel that fish in the end, yes? You just let it swim for a while.
Why waste the time? If they've already showed that they're not worthy of it, why waste the time at all?
The fish isn't worthy. The catch is what's worthy.
Then catch yourself a worthier fish.
Thank you. I appreciate your insight. I will take it to heart.
You're more than welcome. I do what I can, and if you guys need assistance and I can supply it, of course I'm going to do what I can. And I'll make sure that we're all successful in your endeavours to become the best Archons you can for the Camarilla.
I look forward to our adventures.
As do I. I'd like to see all three of you in action, to see how well formed you are as a coterie and as teammates.
Lantry's just going to pet Violet on the head.
Her ears go down.
Anyone got any last minute things they wish to do before we wrap up this session? Very
Can't
well.
think of any right now.
I think the only thing Lucy will do is she will reach out to her contact and let them know how she's trying to establish herself inside the coterie and let them know that this will be blending well.
You will receive a message back that says you will be receiving assistance soon.
She'll nod and think and say, am I equal in title or no? There's a bit of confusion. He doesn't mind either way. She would rather just make
TBD.
sure it's clear. That's fine.
And with that, we shall bring this week's Oxford by Night to a close. Thank you all for coming and watching. Thank you all for coming and playing. Lantre, who are... Oh yeah, we you don't want a shout out. So I can't
enjoy
do a
being
shout
on
out.
your show. Thank you for
But-
having me here.
If Nitro's out there, he can do a shout out because it's not me that gives a shout out for you. But we love you and thank you for coming. Scarlet,
Thank you for having me.
otherwise known as Violet, what do you do? Do you do things? Let's find out.
I do things on Mondays and Tuesdays. We've checked these out on Twitch, and if you miss Twitch, then it's on YouTube. A wonderful group of D&D players all around England. Come say hello. We love you very much, and we're weird, so even better. Oh, also, I'm in Sea Shanties by Night with Law by Night podcast guy. second episode, I believe, is this Sunday. But yeah, if you like lady pirates who are vampires, come watch.
And that's on YouTube, I believe, correct?
YouTube and podcasting, yes.
Patricia, who are you? What do you do? Do you do things? Let's find out.
Yes, hi, I'm Astrid Dean, Diviner_Astrid on Twitter. Since LA by Night is coming back tonight, I am going to go back to my old tired and true thing of, when the VOD's over, so I'm able to pause and everything. I don't miss stuff with my tarot cards. So, keep an eye on my Twitter and, look for that thread. I'll be doing it with all the episodes. I'm also an affiliate of Level Up Dice, so you'll probably be seeing that affiliate link in there. Even if you just want a Windows shop, clicking that link really helps me out. Also, with Junie, I help storytell on a Discord server set in New Orleans. We have pretty much every splat available. I'm the storyteller for Bahari's stuff, and she can tell you a little bit about what she does over there if she wants.
Lucy, who are you? What do you do? Do you do things? Let's find out.
I'm Judy Von Esch. I do things. I live on the internet. It is true. I tend to do a lot of things on Twitter. I do a Twitch. I do storytelling, and I also am actually a changeling too. On another podcast, I play a Sloa, who actually plays with tarot cards because that's what we do. And I actually talk with a whisper. It's kind of like I'm not that loud. It's kind of scary. But if you need any other information, follow the Twitter, follow the Twitch, and just, randomly call me 3 times at some point. I might pop on your screen, but, don't worry. I'm not here. I was never here. Forgetful mind.
And of course, please check out any links down below either side of my ribcage, it seems, for our Discord, our Twitter, and see what's going on. This week we've got London by Gaslight on Thursday in your normal human time zone. And Nitro and I, or the collective, will be playing something in the week in between if I don't kill myself from writing games, which is possible. We will go a-raiding on Devil's Luck Gaming, who are playing that vampire sex game called Vampire the Masquerade. But of course, we can't go until Kendu gives us the line.
Have a good night.